This is a beginner's guide for the Cycle Frontier. This game is basically a knockoff of Escape from Tarkov, but much more casual and fun in its own ways. It has a lot of things that Tarkov does not. I actually like this game a lot. It's really cool. So when you get started, it'll have you do a tutorial, which you can skip, and then it'll throw you out into this place. This is like the hub, basically, before you go on a mission, so to speak, on a planet. There's 2 planets right when I made this video at launch to go to. And first thing it'll have you do is go over to that bar right over there, talk to that guy, then he'll want you to go meet the 3 faction people. The one right over there, and then there's one over there, and then one way over in that corner. You see ICA above my person's head, and the green like aura place over there. So 3 different factions, basically. Each one has their own gear and stuff that you can get later on in the game. In order to, they give quests, which will give you faction rep with them, which will level up your faction with them, let you buy new stuff from them, new guns and stuff like that. You can also gain faction rep with them by just selling items to them. Each one of them has a terminal that you can sell to, and whenever you do that, you will gain faction rep with the appropriate person. So first off, talk to the guy, he'll give you missions, and once you complete enough of them, you'll unlock jobs that you can also do, and you'll gain this. At the top left, you can see how close you are to the next level. Level 3 with these guys. Now I'm at 53 of 200 FP with them, but everyone has a market like this, and here's where you can buy and sell things. There's also another place you can buy things, a quick place to whatever, but you'll unlock new stuff that only they have, like these weapons, for example. And then I think the main thing is for these guys is weapons, and then a heavy mining tool for these ones in particular, and the scanning module. Oh, you sell items to them, and when you sell a bunch of items to them, you'll see down at the bottom right, I get 65 rep, 71, 85, and it just goes up and up and up, basically, the more stuff that I sell to them. So if I sold them, oh my god, if I sold them all this stuff, I'll gain 202 rep. Oh, I can't even put more on there. So, yeah, so that's one way to get rep. And then once you've gotten all that figured out, it'll want you to go on a mission. Before you go on missions, if you don't have the stuff you need, go over to the stockpiles where you can buy stuff. Also, let's get to a big important thing here. Menu, letter I or tab. Tab will take you to this one. I will just jump you straight to the inventory. So it's pretty straightforward. You have your stash on the left whenever you go here at the hub, and you can just put things away by right-clicking on them or right-clicking on them. You can also shift left-click in order to split stacks and things. And there's at the top left your limit of how many items you can have in there, but your backpack goes on weight. So your stash goes on number of unique items, and you can upgrade this, which we'll get to in a sec, but the backpack goes off of raw weight. Also, you cannot have stuff in your backpack unless you have an actual backpack on. The most standard, cheapest one is the small backpack. If you don't know what you're doing, just go ahead and put on a small backpack in the beginning every time you go out and just leave it at that. At the bottom is the safe pockets. This is where if you put something in here, even if you die, it will stay in here. So this is if you're out in the world and you find something you need for a quest or something really valuable, you throw it in here, and then even if you die, you'll be able to bring it back anyway. Obviously, over here's your weapons. This is armor, and this is helmets. And they just give you more armor so that you don't die as quickly. So before you head out, you'll generally want to bring some weak stims. They're really cheap. You'll bring ammo and a gun, and whatever gun you think. There's different ammo types. Shotguns obviously take shotgun ammo. You can tell by the icon if there's 4 bullets, it's light ammo. If there's 3 bullets icons, it's medium ammo, and then we got 2 is sniper ammo, and then these 2 slugs is shotgun ammo, obviously. There's also special ammo, but you won't be dealing with that for a while. Also med kits. Medkits will heal you in one go, but take a long time. Stims heal you a little bit at a time, but are quick, so you can get a quick shot real fast in the middle of a fight and not worry too much. Whenever you want to stock back up on this stuff, you go over to this place. This is the easiest one. You just go here, and you can buy a backpack. You can buy the basic weapons, the ammo for them, some armor, a helmet. You can buy the stims. You can buy grenades if you want to, and the mineral scanner, which we'll get to in a minute once I go to the world map. If you don't know what you're doing and you've never played Tarkov, my suggestion would be in the very beginning to go out with just a small backpack on and maybe a pistol or well, probably not a pistol. I would actually they're about the same price, so just go ahead and throw on either the auto rifle or the PDW, and then just get the appropriate ammo for it, and you'll start with a bunch of stuff once you go through the missions. They'll give you a bunch of starting stuff. If you don't know what you're doing yet, just put on a backpack, a basic gun, and throw like a little bit of ammo in your backpack then, and just go for it. Go out there and explore, because the first few times, if you've never played Tarkov, you'll probably just die. So don't take a lot of stuff with you. When you go out there, though, you can also insure it. So if you're brand new and you think you're just going to die over and over again, you pick which map, preferably the one on the left if it'll let you. If it's bugged out and won't let you join, then just go to the hard one, which is a bad idea. But you can put the stuff over here in standard insurance, and then this will cost you credits. But then if you die, it will give you money back. It'll actually give you more than they're worth, I think. It'll give you close. I don't know. gives you a lot of money back if you die. So if you're new, just do that and then go out and then just try to grab some stuff and get back. And we'll get to that in whole process. Actually, let's just get to that process now, and then we'll get to upgrading your base. So when you're ready to go basically play Escape from Tarkov, but in this game's version, you'll go out here, and ideally if you're new, go to Bright Sands. The difference between these maps when it says difficulty hard versus normal is literally those enemies. You can see on the one on the right, those orange enemies. When you go to hard, pretty much every zone has super strong enemies in it that are extremely difficult to take down without very heavy weapons and a lot of experience in the game. If you're playing as a party of 4, it's not so bad. You can just run around with weak weapons and just 4-man every single enemy you find, and then it's not as big of a deal. But just know that when you shoot at enemies, you make a lot of noise, and then people know where you're at. Well, anyway, pick Bright Sands if it'll let you in. If it's bugged out, it will say fail to deploy. Then you'll have to play the other one, which I had to do on launch, but it's whatever. So put whatever you want in insurance, and then continue, and then deploy. And it will send you off into the world. So what happens is you'll come down in a drop pod. It's literally random RNG where you land on the map. I'm sure there's probably like 100 set points it can throw you in because I've been in the same spot twice before. But like, whatever. You'll put you some random place. So in this case, swamp, low danger. So as soon as I get out, I can open the map and then we can talk about what is going on here. So this is Bright Sands. So you press M, you can open the map. I am down here on the edge of the map in the swamp. So there's all these different places to loot. Jungle, for example, is extremely high level area for the zone. Careful of that. Everything else is pretty standard. And you'll go to each place, just like Tarkov, and you'll loot things. You'll also find random things in between, like little huts with like a random chest and things in different places. There's also minerals and things we'll get to in a sec. But the big thing is these red arrow things on the map are where you have to go to extract. You'll go there, and you'll press Y on the keyboard, which is the default key, and it'll bring down a ship. And then you have to wait and then go back up, which I'll get to in a sec. But something else I want to tell you about is minerals. So if you bring a mineral scanner, you have to actually have this in your inventory, and you can lose it when you die. But if you have one, you can scan, and if there are any resources nearby, it will show little like circular rings on the map. I'll have to show you. I'll have to go find one real fast. Okay, so like I was saying, if you scan and there's something, you'll see it once the scan goes far enough. You'll see right in front of me that little circular ring that appears. That's how you can find resources. There's a bunch of different ones. There's nickel and velokite and all this different stuff. Titan, whatever. And they're worth money. You can mine them. You can put on a pickaxe, and when you get up to one, you can just smack on it, and it'll crumble, and you try to loot the pieces out of it. Once you do it all, it'll crumble. And if you want, when you get one, you can just throw one in your pockets. So generally, if you're new to this game, you're new to Tarkov 2, you never played Tarkov, what I recommend doing in the beginning is you go loot or go mine something in the beginning, and as soon as you get one item that can fit in your storage pockets, just go ahead and throw the item in your storage pockets, and that will cover the cost of your backpack and part of the cost of one of your guns just right out of the gate. So even if you don't know what you're doing, just pick an item that you looted and throw it into your pockets. It's going to be worth at least a few hundred. It'll at least pay for the backpack. And then you're good to go, and it's almost like you're net neutral already, even if you don't evac. As for where to go, well, it depends on what you want. There is something in the very beginning when we upgrade the camp that you'll need. It's called textiles, and you can find that in occasionally vaccine labs. You'll find one room with a bunch of beds in it. You might find on top of that. That's the only place I ever found it in there. Apparently, you can also find it in Southwest Collection Point or the Swamp Camp. It just looks like a really long, rectangular, rolled up piece of fabric that's like pretty big, like as long as this little bush. You get those in order to expand your safe pockets in the beginning. So that's a big goal to work towards in the beginning, on top of doing the quests that it gives you in the beginning. Speaking of quests, G up at the top left will tell you your key, but G is default. You can see what your objectives are for the quests they gave you and stuff like that. So make sure that you can do them and get back. Depending on what they are, you may need to evac with something. Otherwise, some of them you can just, like this one, I can just kill things. Even if I die, I think it just keeps the progress. So, yeah, I would just generally run to, like any of these places. They're all going to be dangerous. You run to a player, they're probably going to try to kill you. Although there is the ability to speak to other players in this game. By default, it is T for push to talk, which is a really awkward key. I mean, for me, I'm going to have to rebind these at some point and make V be push to talk and then replace what was on V over to B and all this. But yeah, you can actually push to talk, and then people around you can hear you. It's proximity voice. The closer you are to them, the louder you're going to be. So you can try to make friends, although beware of griefing on a game like this, because people will troll and stuff. But yeah, that's a thing. So you might be able to make friends, actually, while playing this game. Isn't that crazy? And later on in the game, there'll be cool things you find, like a jungle camp. I found a bunch of key cards before. I don't have them on me, but those key cards will unlock secret rooms. Like, there's the abandoned mine way up here. you can only get into the abandoned mine with a key card. But if you have that key card, you can go in there. There's a bunch of loot. There's a bunch of Titan ore or whatever, and it's all worth a ton of money. So there's fun things you can get through eventually by getting key cards and different stuff. There's also these fun mini games where I'll just show you. There's one at the water facility. So there are some places where you'll find these weird battery things, and you can pull them out of their containers. When you put them in a container like that, it'll power the cable. In this case, the cable was powering this wall, which was actually there before I picked it up, which was blocking me from this room, which then gave me access to this other one. And so you can take these, and then there will be rooms that are out there. So way over there, there's a room with 3 of these cables plugged into it, and right in front of it, all 3 of the cables are connected to one of those boxes that you stick these things into. And if you put all 3 of them in, it'll unlock a door to a room with, like, on average, very, very good loot. So there's fun things like that to do in this game. Fun little puzzles like that, and it's all sorts of fun stuff. Also keep an eye out for old currency. It weighs literally nothing, so you can put infinite of it in your safe pockets. Well, sort of. At a certain point, it splits into 2 stacks. But you be sure to throw it in your safe pockets because it's just free money that you'll get back every single time you go out. Also, a quick tip, if you are having trouble getting out of these places, like if you're having trouble getting out with loot, one thing you can do in this game is if you wait long enough, you can hide somewhere like in the East Caverns or near the abandoned mine entrance or just out in the middle of nowhere. Just hide somewhere in a bush. And once you wait long enough, a storm will come, and it will make it so nobody can evac, and most of the players will usually evac before the storm comes. So if a storm comes and you hide down in some caverns or get somewhere safe, you'll still get hit by random lightning, but just like run around and stuff and try not to get killed. You know what I mean? Once you've done it once, lightning will strike through buildings and everything. It's really annoying, but generally if you go down somewhere like in a cave, you'll mostly be safe. Then you wait out the storm, and then eventually it'll tell you at the top of the screen that you can evac again. And then after that, most of the players will be gone, and it'll be much easier to make your way to an evac without getting killed by somebody. By the way, these were the things that you can mine that I was talking about. You hold Q by default. Q, top left of the keyboard. Go to your pickaxe, and then you can dig into these. And when you dig into these, you'll randomly see things that you can loot, and you press F to pick up. And once you picked it all up, then the whole thing will just crumble. Also, it's important to know when you're out and about, little things like this. There's lots of little, basically, treasure chests. They all come in different shapes and sizes and look different ways. So be on the lookout for them. Every now and then, if you look in their direction, they'll kind of flash white, and that's how you'll know that they're lootable. So now I'm at an evac point, and this one's guarded by monsters, which unfortunately, this one just saw me. If one ever gets on you like this, it's too strong like this guy. If you get on high ground, they won't know how to get to you. But be careful, because some of them like this guy can spit stuff at you that does a crazy amount of damage. So when it comes to enemies detecting you, as far as I can tell, their ability to aggro is only based on their vision, not based on sound. I'm not 100% sure if I make a lot of noise, though, but generally just walking footsteps doesn't really seem to do anything. The main thing is you can see what direction they're facing, and then if you actually have their back facing you, then you can walk right past them. But if they're looking at you, then they will for sure see you and then aggro every single time. So keep that in mind when trying to avoid enemies. Also, another tip, if you want to take out an enemy silently so you don't draw attention to by making tons of gunfire, you can press V by default. It's the default key to swap to your melee weapon. So, let me show you. Yeah. V. There we go. All right. And you can kill enemies. Now, normally you'd only want to kill the orange guys, but you can also kill these guys. You can just wait for them to spit at you. Whoops, that was not what I meant to do. If you stand still, they'll eventually... Okay, you don't want them to get closer, they'll actually attack at you. But every now and then they'll spit at you. This is a really bad environment to fight this guy, actually. But if you stand still, sometimes they'll spit at you, and then you can run sideways of them and come and smack them and run away, and you can get them eventually. Although, in an environment like this, I don't know that it's necessarily a good idea to try to fight one. So you can dodge that, and then smack him, and then run, and you can just do that until he's dead for one of these guys. But any enemy that you want, you can melee them down in order to take them out without making a ton of noise. Once you feel like you have enough loot and you're satisfied with your run, you'll want to head to, again, to one of those points on the map to evac. When you get near at the top, it says press Y to call the evac ship. So press Y, and somewhere in the area, usually right on where the icon is, you'll see a ring of flashing lights, which if I get up here, you'll be able to see it here. And every player has a different evac zone. So you'll see people evacing all over the place. You'll see the ships come in from really far away, and people will know you're evacuating. But the only way someone's going to jump you is if they happen to already be in the area, because everybody's going to have it be a different place. Like some people need to evac over by parking lot, some need evac by power plant. It gives everyone different evacs at the start of the round. So yeah, y'all wouldn't worry too much about someone camping it, but definitely keep an eye out, because if someone's nearby, they may just watch and wait for you to get in and then kill you and take all your stuff. Something you can do though is you don't have to get in immediately. You can just kind of hide and find a safe spot and then wait till the last second. Like I could just go here and just wait. After it lands, it sits there for about 20 seconds or so. You'll hear noises that's about to take off again, and then you can just run in then to minimize the amount of time that you're vulnerable, because it's a very vulnerable space to be in one of these evac ships. So here you hear it taking off now, and I'm going to rush in and get it out. You don't have a lot of cover. Sometimes they're open on all four sides. So that's why you kind of want to wait and then just run in and get in, and then it'll take you out like that. That's the safest way to do it generally. And when you're done, it'll give you a summary of what you found and what it was worth. In this particular run that I didn't really get much. I just wanted to show you how it all worked. But I think my biggest loot so far was almost 50k. But that's still not that crazy. But yeah. So then you're good to go. Hit continue. And it'll tell you any quest progress you did. It tells you any damage you did, any damage received, any players killed. And then return to station. Alright, and then once you're back to station, you'll go turn your quest at the appropriate people. If you need more stuff, you buy it. You want to put your stuff away, press I or tab and then get over to inventory. And just right click, put it all away, whatever you want to put away. Grab your next batch of stuff. Grab some gun and whatever you feel like taking, some ammo, whatever, and some meds. Don't forget your meds. Don't have any right now. And then go out and do it again. Here's all my key cards, by the way. It's what key cards are like. Give you access to different places. So, not done yet, though. There's one more thing to know about in this game. So, over here is the Eden Residences. So, you'll have a house over here. And you'll go into here. And there are two things to know about. There's quarter upgrades, and then there's income generators. And this is where you get the insurance packages if you lose your stuff when you paid for insurance. After you lose it, you gotta wait a while before it'll give it to you, though. My next one's 19 minutes. I died some time ago, but I gotta wait longer to get it. The upgrades, though, this is the biggest part of this whole thing. So you can get, there's a ton of upgrades. So we got generators, which generate loot and money and stuff. This one generates just raw money. This one, I don't remember what this one does. And then this one just gives you random supply crates that give you like guns and ammo and random stuff. And there's different upgrades in all these trees and stuff. So a lot of upgrades there. There's inventory, which is the one that I'm most interested in personally, which you can upgrade how many safe pocket slots you have, or how much capacity you have in your safe pockets, which is huge for, you know, you find your quest item that you're after, you find some super rare item, you can just stuff in your safe pockets. It's a really nice quality of life thing to have. And then you also can just increase the size of your stash, which is also really nice. So these, for me, personally, these are top priority when I'm playing this game, is to upgrade these. But you'll see what mats you need for these, and it'll cost a certain amount of money, and it'll take a certain amount of time. You can skip the time by spending this currency or the in-game currency, which is really nice that they let you use in-game currency to skip it, not just paid currency, which is really nice. And then there's Workbench. It just, reduce the time it takes to upgrade things. And I think that might be, that's literally all this one does, is decreases the amount of time that it takes to upgrade the other stuff, which only really matters when you're getting to the later stuff that takes like 1 day. And as you go, it gets rarer and rarer materials. Eventually you get down here and you need meteor core and portable lab and all this stuff. So yeah, that's the gist of this game. So that is my beginner's guide for this game. Hopefully this helps you out, and hopefully now you have a better idea of how to get started and be successful and have fun in the Cycle Frontier.